Hello, everybody. This is Joseph Pasek of barnburner.ca. Our twice daily Fired Up show is available on 108 platforms, also on the OSG Sports app, available on iOS and Android. Welcome to a Game 3 Maple Leaf Boston Bruins playoff recap here on the Breakaway, but it's a special breakaway. Of course, I got my Captain Jared Baffy, making a return to the Breakaway. You know her, you love her. We're going to call her some people out here from, for the CWHL, Victoria Bach, and making her debut. I don't know if I should call her by the first name, so I'm just going to call her Gamble, but there's a first name to it. She'll get into it earlier. So let's talk about Game 3 here. The newcomer here, Gamble. I'm not going to say your first name. What did you think of Game 3?
Yeah, I thought, we came with the same intensity as Game 1, where we're winning the battles and picking up our mans and just getting dirty. And that was really nice to see that we came back and rebounded from Game 2. So it was really exciting.
All right, Victoria?
Yeah, just going off what you said, I think super exciting game with the home crowd. And I think they really sparked the Leafs. They came out flying from the beginning. And it's nice to see a couple new players score some big goals, their first playoff goals, and overall I think it was just a really good game for them. So hopefully they can bring that on Wednesday.
And, Captain now.
Well, that's exactly what they did. The Leafs came back and played their game, and that's what we said after Game 2. The Leafs didn't play their game in Game 2. Well, they showed up in Game 3 and did exactly that. 2 players of the game for me. They weren't stars of the game, but, Morgan Riley played almost 28 minutes tonight, which is insane. 3 minutes on the power play and 2.5 minutes on the penalty kill, and that guy was so close multiple times to having goals. He got an assist, and he had 6 shots. Player of the game on defense for me. Player of the game on offense is Mitch Marner. 23 minutes, an assist, 5 shots on goal, and those 2 massive blocks at the end of the game. So neither of them were a star of the game, but those are the 2 standouts for me tonight.
How about you, Anissa? Or Gamble, sorry.
Yeah. I'll go a little biased. I love 4th-line grinders, and I think the Leafs did a great job with that tonight and just bringing that energy. So, I'll definitely give out to all those forwards, but I really loved watching Moore out there. I thought he was really bringing that intensity, having those quick beats, and really being really dirty in those corners and winning those battles. So I'll give him the MVP for tonight.
Trevor Moore with his first playoff goal.
Okay, how about you, Victoria?
Yeah, me too. I thought Moore definitely had a really good game out there. He was even, all 3 games, he brings the same type of game, just hard worker, gets the job done. Nice to see him score a goal today, but I think I really like the captain out there. I think he just uses speed. He is always first to pucks, and I think he's really skilled. He sets up the play. Definitely liked watching him out there today. I thought, every single time he was out there, he kind of made something happen. So both those players, in my eyes, were probably the stars today.
And for me, the defensive tandem, Jake Muzzin and Zeitz have really played good. They were on the ice, it looked like, for the last 2.5 minutes with Tavares winning every faceoff. So let's look ahead to Game 4 here. And if the Maple Leafs want to win this series, it's a critical Game 4. What do you say, Victoria?
Yeah, I think Game 4 at home, super critical that they try and get this win. I think, just use the crowd's energy and, bring the same game that they brought. And I think they should be successful. Like I said, if all four lines are rolling, then, they should have success there. And, just keep bringing it to them every game and keep being hard on pucks, and good things should happen.
How about you, Anissa? I'm going to just call you by your first name. All right, so go ahead. You guys confuse me. I'm the center iceman here. I got to pass the puck to everybody. Come on.
Yeah, Ricky. Yeah, absolutely. I think this Game 4 of winning it here at home at the home barn, I think that has a lot of momentum going in, and hopefully we'll, knock on wood, get that series up when we're going back to Boston. But I think it's going to be almost with this crowd here, it'll almost be effortless of having that intensity and that grit out there, and it's just showing us young guys there we can keep up with those more veteran playoff guys. So really big game coming up, and I'm really excited to take her.
All right, Jared, I'm going to ask you about Game 4, but I want to ask around the horn a prediction for Game 4, and then we'll talk about the CWHL. So, Jared, you start us off.
All right. Well, can I talk about it, or do I just have to give a prediction?
Jared, talk about it. Do whatever you want. You people are all confusing. I'm the captain here. Look, come on.
All right. Game 4, keep shutting down the top line of the Boston Bruins. In Game 3, Patrice Bergeron, no points. Brad Marchand, no points. David Pastrnak, invisible. Keep shutting down that line. And Austin Matthews has got to keep flying. 2 points tonight, a goal and an assist. Like, they all just got to keep rolling and keep doing what they're doing, because tonight's game was exactly what they needed. On top of that, 13 slot shots, even for both teams, 13 each. So the Leafs keep those high danger chances up. That's exactly what they need to do, because the Bruins were really good at suppressing that during the regular season and in Game 2. So keep up those high danger slot chances, and the Leafs will be rolling.
All right.
I think the Leafs can win Game 4 too.
Well, what was the score? I said a prediction.
What's the score? Okay. All right. We need a score. 4-2.
I was going to say 4-2. Now I got to change my score. Ooh. All right.
Why?
Victoria,
you can.
No, I can't go. I can't go as my captain. I'll make you assistant captain by the time. Okay, Victoria, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to go with a good 5-4. 5-4.
For the Leafs, right?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. The other slot man, Gamble, what do you say?
Yeah, I'm going to go 4-2 for an open net for the Leafs.
4-2 with an empty net. All right. So Anissa, I'm gonna ask you. Victoria was on last game. Anything you hear about the CWHL? Because I want your take on the CWHL. They had the most successful season to date. The Clarkson Cup was on Sportsnet, and then within a couple of days they said, come May 1st, no league, no team, no anything. You guys are amazing, play a very good spirited hockey, amazing hockey, sometimes even better than NHL New Jersey Devil teams. New Jersey, Florida, and all that. But anyways, 2 teams that made them make the playoffs. But have you heard anything from the CWHL, and what are you going to do going forward?
Yeah, I think me and Bacher can both testify that it was a complete shocker. And although we got the news a couple of weeks ago, it's still in that shock and denial mode in a bit. And I don't know if we're even at that point of taking action, but we're starting to get the ball rolling. I think it's really exciting, with this past World Cup. Finland just came out as the underdog, and in my opinion, should have won the whole World Championship. That was definitely a goal in my opinion. But that just kind of shows that the platform for women's hockey is growing not only in the CWHL, NWHL, but globally. So, going forward, I think it's going to be really key for those players to come back and have a voice and creating, or joining to make the best league, because needless, pro hockey players like Bacher, she's pretty amazing and good, and we need to set that platform for not only her for going up for the next Olympics, but for those next generations to come. So, it's definitely been a little bit of a limbo thus far. But I think, news is really going to come up in this coming week, and I wouldn't even be surprised if something big happens this week. I'd say the biggest thing right now would be there's a lot going on, and maybe not trusting everything that's happening at the media, and us players need to reunite, and we definitely need that buy-in from the stakeholders and make the best league possible to set that platform for future generations.
It sounds like you know something. You want to let the cat out of the bag? It sounds like you know something.
I don't know. I just feel like, there's a lot of momentum. And like you said, we just had the best season possible. And I think that's why we're so blindly shocked about this. I know I was with a couple of the Furies girls. Actually, yesterday we did the Scotiabank Hockey Day, and it's quite evident from those young girls, having that dream of playing professional hockey and really growing the sport. So, with these world players coming back with their voice and their power and their expertise in the game, I think things are going to start get rolling. So I don't know anything, but I just got that feeling, like we're going to win Game 4.
All right, let's get Jared. Take a seat on the bench. You're a fourth line player. Let Victoria comment on that. And since we were on last on Saturday, has anything changed, Victoria? Because you guys, like I said, it's really a shame that nobody, since the deal that you guys are going to CWHL is going to close down, nobody's really talking about it, and that's. It's frustrating as you, a player, but for me, who's a parent of a daughter also, who maybe wants to play hockey down the road, where's going to play?
Yeah, no, I think just, really well said by Gamble. I think, definitely I see, now with the girls coming back from those championships, and like she touched on, just that final championship game, really that was huge for our sport and for women's hockey, and being able to show the world that, women's hockey is growing. And I definitely think everyone tuned into that game, was watching that game, and that's huge for us. And I think that, there's definitely something, that's good that's going to come out of this if we stay united and, stay as one. And, I feel pretty confident, obviously, like Gamble said, we are all in shock, still are in shock, and we're not sure, what's going to happen, but we just have to be optimistic and keep pushing forward as one, and in hopes that something good's going to come out of this.
One more question. Just let me finish. One more question.
Can I take a shift? Okay.
Wait, hold on. I just gotta ask them both. What were their thoughts about the World Championships? Of course, Canada losing to Finland, but then Finland scoring a goal, and then it got called back. They were celebrating in Finland. First of all, do you think it was a goal? Let's start off with Anissa. Do you think it was a goal? And what do you think of that game overall?
Yeah. First of all, I was a ref at one point in my life, and it was the hardest job I've ever done in my life. But I think I already expressed my opinion about it. I think that was a good goal, and so to my opinion, I believe Finland won that the whole World Cup.
All right, how about you, Victoria?
Yeah, same thing. It's such a hard situation. Scoring a goal, celebrating. They all had their helmets off. They were all excited. They just made history, and then to be able to have to put your stuff back on and go play again. That's a momentum changer, and I felt bad for them. I did see that goal. I wasn't sure if it was going in or not. Refs had a hard job there. But yeah, either way, I think it definitely was huge for our sport and for women's hockey. And regardless of the result, it was an amazing game to watch. And I think everyone, definitely made comments about how much of an exciting game that was.
Look who's hopping over the board. Look who's hopping over the board. Jared, come on.
Hooray! Okay, so specifically about the World Championships, I talk about this in the show that I literally just finished editing like an hour ago, and I'm going to send that to you a little bit later, Joe, so that'll come up in the next couple of days. A new episode of CWHL Over the Glass. Selfless plug. But I...
Shouldn't be called CWHL now. Just call Over the Glass.
I'm waiting to rebrand, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
We got time. All right. So I looked up the rules. The IWHF, their rule handbook is available online for the 2018 through to 2022. In international rules, you cannot contact a goaltender while they are in the crease. Full stop. Alex Rigsby's left leg is still in the crease when the Finnish player makes contact with Rigsby, therefore it's not a goal. I don't agree with it, because in North America that's a goal. And those are my thoughts on it. But in international rules for the IIHF, that's not a goal because Rigsby's leg is still in the crease. And also, championships should not be decided by a shootout. It's the dumbest thing in the world. International IIHF needs to get rid of it because with an extra 10 minutes of overtime, Finland wins that game.
Yeah. I'm looking at the rule too. It's Rule 185. So
yeah,
I agree. And even looking back, the USA team, if you watch most of the game, I thought they dominated too, and it's just Finland capitalizing on the opportunities that they had. So, it's one of those things, but I concur 100% that it's a little barbaric that we're even doing shootout goals to determine world championships.
I agree with that.
And Nora Ratu's just unreal. I mean,
I know. We had to play against her this year.
I can't even imagine.
Oh, yeah. It's unreal.
And here's the other thing. Let me ask you guys this question. If this happened to Canada, okay, when they scored a goal and got disallowed and they lost a gold medal, would anybody be talking about it? Because it seems that they talk about it with, ladies hockey for an hour, 2 hours, 10 hours a day, and then it fades away. But if this happened in Team Canada in the men's side or the ladies' side, would they talk about it for weeks? And with what I'm talking about, like the Clarkson Cup, it was good for the one day, and then boom. How come nobody here, and maybe we're different, Jeremy, because you're part here of Barn Burner Fired Up. Maybe we're different. We talk about it. There's no difference. For me, there's no difference than we talk about the Maple Leafs winning the game, and you guys, Toronto Fury, Markham, Thunder, whatever, playing the game, winning the game. There's no difference. It's hockey. Hockey's not supposed to be, it's male, female, this, that. It's hockey. We should talk about it. We're in Canada, So,
well, I mean, I would have been irate if that happened to Canada. I tell you, I don't know if I would have had the level-headedness to look up the rules.
Yeah, you would be irate, but again, Don Cherry, would he mention anything? He mentions fighting. He's going to mention Ovechkin knocking out this guy 10,000 times. But when is he mentioning? He did talk about that? Okay. When is he going to mention the fact that the CWHL folding or going non-existent on how many players are in the CWHL, ladies?
Well, I want to say about 160.
60, yeah. About 160, I think.
So when is somebody going to talk about what happens to 160 ladies who love, their dream is to make playing for the CWHL, they're winning the Clarkson Cup, playing. Look at the camaraderie that these two ladies on this show have. When's somebody going to talk about that? Jared, talk about it.
Well, I'm surprised Brian Burke doesn't talk about it more, to be honest. I mean, he's quite an advocate of the league. He was at the Clarkson Cup, and he's got his hands in all kinds of stuff, to be honest. He's, big holder of the Toronto Arrows and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm calling out Brian Burke. I think he needs to talk about this issue a little bit more.
That's not how you called out somebody. I called out Don Cherry. I'm going to call out Brian Burke also. Brian Burke, I extend you an open invitation here to the Breakaway with the two ladies. One was Rookie of the Year for the Canadian Women Hockey League. Come on, talk about it and do some digging up and get the guys at Sportsnet or Rogers or Bell to open up a wallet and start the league again. Brian Burke. Hey, come on, you want truculence? I'll give you truculence. How you like that, Jerry? I'll take him in the corner. I'll take these two ladies with them. They could handle the puck over Brian Burke anytime.
I'll tell you this, there's no Brian Burke truculence in women's hockey. It's only good hockey, I'll tell you that.
Well, it's very good hockey. It's very good hockey, and it's about time somebody in this corporate world of Tim Hortons, McDonald's, Burger King, who else should I mention here, to somebody step up and start this league again. Because I don't have to tell you, Victoria, you were Rookie of the Year. When you're Rookie of the Year, you should rise above and see next year, maybe you could even be better than you were when you were Rookie of the Year. Who's going to give you that chance? Somebody's got to give you that chance. It's about time. It's Canada. I joked around, it's hockey, it's Canada, Well, somebody step up and give these ladies the option to play, to show all the men, all the media, everybody how good ladies hockey is. Jared, you talk because I gotta take this. I'm fired up. No pun intended. I'm all fired up.
Yeah, you are.
Go ahead.
I think you said it, man. I'm not too sure what else to say other than that I think the way forward is whatever the players end up deciding what is best. And I think, I think Liz Knox is going to be at the forefront of that as the chairman of the Players Association. I guess now former. I don't know what's going on there, but she's been in the limelight of late, just talking about what's been happening and what's going on. And I think both Anissa and Victoria could speak to this, but I think that the players might start to look to Liz to see where to go from here.
And really, what happens, you guys mentioned 160 jobs, let's put it on the line here. And, of course, the CWHL, nothing against them. They have reached out to the Toronto Furies and Montreal team. So they take maybe 20, 30, 40 people. But what happens to your team out of Markham? Like we talked about, you technically are playing in Toronto, 20 minutes away from Toronto. But you guys, you don't have a team and you don't have players on that team because technically you're not from the Toronto Furies?
Yeah, well, I'll Bach, do you want to say something here? Or?
No, you can go ahead. Yeah, you go first.
Okay. I think it's pretty amazing, with for Players Association, like Liz Knox and, like everyone on the team has someone, like we have Prevo and Villa, and they've been doing a great job and really getting things together. But, like at the end of the day, like we could try to put things together, but we're not business people, and like we need actually stakeholders to take more action. I think that's the biggest thing that's occurring. And that's the action that goes forth from. I love Brian Burke, and he has been an incredible advocate for women's hockey. But there is a line between supporting women's hockey and buying a ticket to come to the game, and that's most certainly the necessity that we need to build that financial bank. And bluntly, that's why the CWHL has folded, was due to an unstable economic business model due to financial reasoning. So. I think us as players, we have that voice, but we're almost we need other people to really take action, and that's the point of a team, right? Like you have those superstars as the players, but we need everyone to play their role, and whether that's your media relations or your trainers or the sponsors or so forth. So I think this is an incredible business opportunity for so many people to jump on board because, like you said, we have that platform. We have those teams established. We have those players that want to play and who are extremely high level, and the audience is there. So whether that's like everybody playing a role, so like TSN or Sportsnet covering more games in the future. And really showing that this is a problem and really taking a next step forward and not ignoring it. Whether that is the stakeholders of the league and the people on the board to really take that step forward. I think the CWHL is quite a beautiful thing because it was all these players who altruistically gave up and sacrificed so much of their time and life to basically build this league that happened. I think that was the biggest slap in the face was these incredible people that did spend so much time, 12 years building this league, and then it was just shut down so quickly without notice. So I don't think I don't think the best thing to do is just to add like one or two teams in Montreal and Toronto. Like I think you pointed out a really good thing of we have Markham, and they are such a great team. So Toronto, the GTA, is such a concentrated hockey ground that one team wouldn't be sufficient, and the audience is here, and the audience is everywhere else as well. So it's a little scary, but to say it's up to the players alone, I think that's a little naive, and we might run into the same problem. I think I'm calling out everyone else to play their role and take a little bit of a piece of the puzzle for this Pioneer journey ahead.
So let me ask you great points by you, but let me ask you this. Wasn't this the most successful year in CWHL history? Like it's a 12-year journey, correct? 11 or 12 years, right? So in year one, there was, I'm sure there was financial problems in year one, in year two, in year three. But once you hit a high now, in 12 years, and they cut the cord. Like, explain, and maybe you don't even know, how could, when it's the most successful year, and the Clarkson Cup was on Sportsnet and everything like that, and now they have, I don't know the right correct term, lady power or woman empowerment or whatever, it has hit a new high, and then they cut the cord from all you guys. Does that make sense, first of all?
No, but I have confidence in Hefford as a commissioner that there is a reasoning for it, and everything does happen for a reason. And a lot of the media that we did gander this year was due to the reason that we need to formulate one league, and we really need those pillars from the NHL to help support us and to help grow that game. And Gary Bettman has made it evident that he will not step into, helping certain teams due to the two leagues. I do science, like that's what I do. I do research, so I don't know anything about business. But from the surface, I don't think either league had the the service design for that implementation for that huge population size and that talent that is growing right now in women's hockey. So we really need to be adamant about, setting up that best league possible for, those future generations to come. So, yeah, it's in limbo right now, but I think it's an exciting limbo, but it's scary because it's ambiguous.
So now let me ask Jared something. What, and maybe you guys want to chime in here. So presumably the NWHL is picking up Toronto, Montreal. But what happens next year when the NWHL says, well, it's not feasible no more? What happens then?
Well, that is a good question, because the NWHL did say that they were that it wasn't just going to be Calgary and Toronto for now. So that they were only going to do, they were going to do Montreal and Toronto for now, and then look into potentially doing Calgary in the future. But the trademarks of these teams aren't just up for grabs. The Toronto Fury's trademark is, as far as I know, owned by MLSE. So the issue there is the NWHL is going to have to talk to MLSE to get a hold of the trademark. And so I really can't see those talks going very far, just because the NWHL really hasn't talked to anybody from the Toronto Furies about any kind of revival of either of those teams. Now, the other issue with Gary Bettman is that not only does he not want to get involved because there were two leagues, but he's made it fairly clear that he doesn't want to get involved in anything that's not his own. He doesn't want to disturb the business venture that is the NWHL, particularly because it was started and run by a woman and blah, blah, blah. So essentially, there's not going to be a whole lot of support from the NHL until there is no league, so that Bettman can start one of his own, from what I can understand.
And is that what it's going to come down to? Let's say if it happens in 2 years, where are these guys or these ladies going to be played in 2 years, 3 years? Like, and that just seems like, I know Bettman and on all that, but that just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. And it's unfortunate that there's really no answer right now. And that's the scariest part, probably, is that everything's just sort of in a limbo. And I don't know. I do agree with Anissa. I think we're going to start to see information start to trickle out again as players begin to return from the World Championships, because of course Kendall Coyne Schofield is going to be on NBC as an analyst, which is great. and some folks are going to start to trickle back. But I know a lot of them are still over there, and they're going to go on holidays and whatnot, and have a good time. So, but yeah.
And here's the final question. I know the ladies got to go, but okay, you're bringing Toronto and Montreal into the NWHL, but you would think if you're the NWHL, wouldn't you bring the Clarkson Cup champions?
Yeah.
But Jared, you're the one who told me that why they're not picking up Calgary. Tell everybody why they're not picking up Calgary.
It's too far, but they have a team in Minnesota, so I don't know.
All right. What do you ladies, final thought, what do you ladies think of all this about the NWHL picking up, two teams, but not in Markham and not, Clarkson Cup champions? It's like, okay, NHL is going to fold, but we won't take the Stanley Cup champions. We'll take the New Jersey Devils, the Pittsburgh Penguins, or whatever.
Yeah, I think Calgary is an extremely strong team, and that's due to one of the the Hockey Canada Center training grounds is there, and setting that up. And I think it's a really scary time too, because next year we're like, basically these leagues are first set up to provide these Olympic players a platform to play competitively between the Olympics, and next year we'll have our Olympic players in the league. But the year after that, they'll be centralized, and they'll be going to play in the Olympics. So, as like a fourth-line grinder talking over here, it's really scary for me that, things might be held off or not designed or implemented the correct way, in the sense that we're rushing it. Nothing, Rome wasn't built in a day. And if we, just jump on board because we're scared or we are afraid of the unknown, and that's how progress is made, is getting really uncomfortable and creating that best league. So that's my fear in this is if we do jump on board with that. I think the U.S. has been doing an incredible job for really advocating for women's equality in sports. We saw that they almost boycotted one of the World Cup a couple of years ago, and just demanded for an increase in pay, and really being those advocates. And I think when I say that, like, our Canadian girls are amazing and tremendous. So I think they really need to buy into this and also play a big part in this puzzle of advocating and maybe making their sacrifice too to grow the women's game nationally, not only nationally but worldwide. And I think that was like a great message that we saw at this World Cup, that gap's closing. So that's my opinion, and it's a little scary, but I think it's scary and uncomfortable because we're making progress.
All right, Victoria, I'll leave it off with you.
Yeah, that was really well said. Just kind of going off the whole conversation, I think, the NWHL, the whole idea of what you mentioned, Markham, Toronto, 20 minutes away, not going to be a team next year, all of that's kind of just, it's scary. It's shocking for all of us. And I know me being a rookie this year and, the CWHL, like, you gain relationships, you gain friendships with the team, and, you play some of your best hockey because, you have fun out there. And I think it's hard for us because now we're left with the idea of, where will we be playing next year? Kind of going off of what Anissa said, like, how is it all going to work out? And, I hope, kind of like what she said, that we can all, stick together and get the best possible league for us to play in. And, yeah.
Well, we're going to stick together because you guys will be back on Game 4. Now, Victoria, let's state with this. How can people reach out to you social media-wise?
Yeah, they can send me a message, or they can follow me on, Twitter. My Twitter handle and my Instagram handle are both Bach, VEE Bach 21. Yeah, you can send me, or you can shoot me an email. My email is VEEBach_21@live.com.
All right. Simply one of the best. Rookie of the Year. Check her out. All right. Anissa Gamble, pleasure to have you on. Tell everybody how they could get a hold of you social media-wise.
Yeah. First of all, it's fun talking with Bach. We actually played together way back in the day in Oakville, and she was just a little minion coming in, and she was way better than I was. And so we actually, I'm so happy to, still play in the same league with her and watch her journey so far. And I think it was quite beautiful that she got Rookie of the Year, so it was well deserved. But
thank you.
If you want to reach out to this old geezer, you can you can find me on Instagram at Anissa.gamble, and that's ANISSA .gamble, GIMBLE. Tweet at me at Anissa_gamble, that's ANISSA_GIMBLE. And if you want to send me an email, it's AnessaGamble@hotmail.com.
And you said you guys played together years ago. What is that, 2 years ago? All right. Jared, go ahead.
That was the greatest exchange I have ever experienced. I just have to say that. All right. I am on Twitter at Captain Bapsy, or you can send me an email, Jared, JERRED, @barnburner.ca.
All right, and remember, the ladies will be back here. Maybe I'll put Jared off the bench here for Game 4, but an outstanding edition of the Breakaway. Thanks a lot, ladies, and Jared, too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.